They know how to do right. They don't want to do right by you. They know how to do right. People who are always doing certain things, and relationship wise and friendship wise and sibling wise, they know what right is. They just are not going to do it by you. And as long as sometimes people, when they're Christians, it's like Christianity means you leave your brain in a hole somewhere. God gave us a brain for a reason, okay? He gave you a brain for a reason. But the thing is, not only he expects you to be able to understand practical things and things that are going on. However, through the Spirit of God, he gives us a strength not to react by our impulses. But one of the things that's very big with the Lord is walking in wisdom and understanding and walking in his discernment. If you read the book of Proverbs, you'll see how important it is. And the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The respect, the loyalty, being in alliance with the Lord is where you're going to get the knowledge that's going to open the door for understanding and wisdom and discretion. You'll be warned by things. You're going to see things before it happens. And even when we are not serving God, there's a certain level of discernment and intuition that we will have, and we have to know when something is not right, something is not wrong, or something is wrong. But the thing is, at that point, we're going to react how we think we should, rather than being led by the Spirit of God. Now, with that being said, it's time to stop giving people excuses, especially those that you love. You love them, right? So, of course, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, which they are supposed to get. But after so many years and after so many offenses, you have to come to terms with what's before you. People that don't want to do right, meaning they refuse to do the things that they know would really help the situation, that would show a level of respect and loyalty to you, to stop the hurt, to stop the pain, to ease the lack of faith that you have in them for all and for justified reasons. They can, but they're not going to give it to you. They know what right is, but they won't give you that. And the way you know what right is because when they're offended about something, they can think of everything and all the principles that should have been in place and what you should not and should not have done. They live by a different standard that they themselves do not bestow to other people. People that go around telling your secrets and telling your business, they don't tell their own secrets. They don't expose themselves and they don't tell their business. Those who go around cheating and lying don't want to be cheated and lied to. They don't like it. And they can tell you they can give you an itemized list of why you should not lie and you should not cheat on them. And so, today I spoke about when he's everybody's guy. And so I spoke to you about the man that he's out there and he may be your husband, your boyfriend, or someone you're getting to know or someone you're engaged to. But it's like there's nothing that is going to be different when how he treats you or what he bestows to you that he gives to other women. He is everybody's guy. And there are females out there that is that way as well. They're everybody's girl. They're gonna be there for every other man to the same way, at least certain men that are in her life, and she's going to give him the same level of consideration as you, her husband, or you, her significant other, if not more. And so sometimes there'll be things that's going to come up in that relationship where they're going to make it seem as if, well, you're being over the top or whatever, and they're acting as if they don't understand what loyalty is and what faithfulness is and what boundaries are. They'll have this whole banter and back and forth with you about that. But guys, the reason how they know what right looks like because they have that sort of faithfulness and loyalty for the other person that they're talking to. A lot of times when they have that friend or that other woman out there, that other man out there, that person is going to know your business, but you're not going to know what's going on with them. You don't know when they're having conversations with that person because they don't share that with you. You don't know when they have met up for coffee or they went somewhere together because they know how to keep that discreet. They know how to set boundaries where you're not going to know about all that they've been talking about and all that they've shared. You'll know they're not going to tell you the deep things that that person, that man or that woman has shared with them, nor will they tell you what they have told that person about you or what they were feeling. You're not going to know what happened with his day because he's already shared it with someone else. He's not going to come home and share it with you. She's not going to come home and share with you what she's already shared. The questions that she had on her mind, she's already got it answered, and you're not going to know, and you're not going to be privy to it, and they're not going to ask you your opinion because they have already discussed it. They've already had that private discussion. They're keeping the sacredness and the discretion for that relationship, their loyalty to that person. Okay, whether it lasts long or not, we don't know. But what we do know, there is a bond, a tie, a respect that's there, that you will not know anything about what's going on with their friend or this other man or this other woman. So they do know how to operate in loyalty and respect and keeping boundaries and keeping conversations sacred and private between two entities that have agreed to share and pour out their hearts. But that's not going to happen with you. So therefore, they may be telling this person, telling this man or this woman things about you, the husband, things about you, the boyfriend, things about you, the fiance. He may be telling the other woman things about you, the wife, you, the girlfriend, you, his fiance, that you have no clue. So she has a lot of information about you, but he is not telling you anything about her. You're not going to know that he gave her a gift. You're not going to know that they had lunch together. You're not going to know they had a conversation. You're not going to know that he went to the store so he can park down the street and talk to her. You're not going to know that she cried and she had problems because he knows how to keep everything sacred and keep things discreet and keep that level of faithfulness and loyalty in place between them. But when it comes to you, now they're going to play foolish, like they don't know what you're talking about and you're being over the top when they are actively carrying out the very thing, keeping those boundaries, keeping that respect, protecting that person, protecting their privacy, protecting their weaknesses, covering their nakedness by keeping all their conversations and all their meetups and all their hurts and pains and woes and cries between them. And then you're off to the side. So don't be fooled by the foolishness of that. They know how to do right. They know how to treat you right because they're out the house treating somebody else right. Outside of your relationships, they're treating everybody else right. They will say that they're impatient and they're not good with kids, but they're outside being good and right to someone else's child. Patient and being a listening ear to somebody else's child. Being a patient and listener to somebody else's significant other or to anybody else but you guys. This is one of the reasons why people that say they don't know what they're doing, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They know what is wrong because when it comes to them, they're going to know exactly what right should look like. They can tell you how you offended them and what you did, and they would have done the exact same thing to you. But the bottom line is, you're not important. They're important. They know how to be loyal, but they don't want to be loyal to you. They know how to be faithful, but they don't want to be faithful to you. They know how to be respectful and considerate because they're actively doing it to someone else. And remember, at the very beginning of your relationship or friendship, they knew and they were doing the right things. They know what to do, but they don't want to do it anymore. Okay? So what we have to learn to do, guys, is see people at face value for what they show you, and don't try to put sprinkles on poop. Okay? Don't try to put powdered sugar on what's what. Their behavior, the things that they're doing, they're showing you their fruit. The Bible tells us in Matthew 7 that Jesus says, by their fruit you shall know them. Even when they come as sheep in wolf's clothing. Correction, wolf in sheep clothing. Their fruit, their character, who they are inside is going to come out. Now, we all have a bad day, right? We've all had bad days when we say things and act out. But there's something, guys, there's something within every last one of us that when you truly love and respect somebody and you care about them, there's just a limit, a line that you cannot cross. And when you cross that line, it would come out only if this person has been hurting you severely. And even then, sometimes you still, even though you may have crossed the line, there's just a certain thing you're never gonna do. There's certain things you can never do to your sibling. There's certain things you can never do to your parent. It just don't feel right. But you will see sometimes that they can easily do certain things to you. Your sibling, your parent can do things as if you are a stranger, or if you were not even a stranger, because sometimes they'll treat a stranger better. They know how to act because they don't act that way. They know how to behave at work. They're not having those outbursts. They're nasty, they're mean spirited at home. But when they're on the job and when they're at work and when they're with their boss, they know how to hold in all those emotions because they come home and take it out on you. So they know how to do right, but they choose not to. It's a matter of who they deem to be important and who they think is not. They know what right looks like. They know the right thing to do, but they don't want to. And we have to be in a place to really realize this is the reality. And now you ask God to heal your heart. Ask God to show you how to move ahead, move from the situation and heal. And you have to understand that forgiveness is necessary, but it's not something you may be able to do right at that moment. And God knows that you're hurting. God knows the wounds. God knows everything that's happened. But we must get to a place, guys, that we ask God, Lord, help me to do what is right, especially as believers in Christ. Because if we don't forgive, neither will he forgive us. But God is also sensitive to know that your husband can't cheat on you today, and God expects that you're going to be able to forgive him today and everything's going to be fine. But he does know in faith you may cry out to him and say, God, I don't feel this right now, but help me. And in due time, he'll take you through the process. He'll take you through the process. So it's a matter of accepting who is before you. By that I mean accepting the truth of who they are. Accepting even this person that came to you as a sheep now is a wolf. And pay attention to what they do consistently. Consistently. Many people, you have stuff, they've been doing certain things from the time you were little, from the time you were an adolescent, to the time you were a young adult, to middle age, and now you're older. They're still doing the same things. This person has been doing the same thing for decades. Now this will be your family because you've known them from the beginning. And sometimes it can be friends, and then it could be who you're in a relationship with, who you've been engaged to since when leg warmers came out. You've been engaged to this person, y'all ain't married. So there are just things that they're going to show you. This friend, a person that you call a friend, you would have known them for a few years, and they do the same thing over and over again. And first they'll apologize, and then they'll do it again and apologize and do it again. And then after a while, they stop apologizing. They start to blame you for it. So the thing is, why is it so hard for us to accept the consistent, repetitive fruit? Why is it hard for us to face the fact that this person is consistently inconsistent? If someone is consistently inconsistent, there's your truth right there. I did a video about when a person is consistently inconsistent, and you can look at that. Type in, make sure you're in my search engine and put in inconsistent or consistently. Okay, if you don't know how to spell it, and they're not being facetious, inconsistent, it's spelled INCO. Which one am I spelling? Inconsistent? INCOS. Wrong. So INCONSISTENTLY. ISTENTLY. Again, I'm not being facetious, but everybody doesn't know how to spell, and we should. And apparently I don't at the moment. Should be able to be mindful of that. And then the other one is consistently. So no, don't type in inconsistently. Type in inconsistent. INCOS. I am literally mortified. And now for this short break while I get over this spelling binge. What can I think? Wait, INCOSTINENT. Inconsistent. Or and then consistently will be CONSISTENTLY. All right. So if you type in just a part of that, YouTube will pick up the rest. But one thing I wish YouTube had was like, if you try to spell the word, I wish that they would be like with some like Google, did you mean so and so? But if you spell that word wrong, it is not going to pull up that video. You have to do it exactly. All right. So look that up. Sometimes guys, they're consistently inconsistent. And so I did a video on that, as I was saying, with a person that you never catch them doing anything. They disappear. They consistently disappear. They're consistently missing. They're consistently unavailable after 7 p.m. They're consistently, and they'll pop up 7 a.m., 8 a.m. They're going to call you. They're consistently unavailable on the weekends. They're consistently caught in lies, and they can talk circles around you. And you may never be able to prove that they're doing anything. But in those cases, as I said, you don't need any hardcore evidence, because their inconsistency is telling enough. Okay? Their inconsistency is enough proof. And what you may be imagining they're doing, they may be doing worse. And maybe it's not what you're imagining. But what you know for a fact, there is a time that man or woman that says they love you so much, there is a window of time that they don't love you that much to answer the phone, to answer your text. There's a time that they dip out. They go somewhere in the center of the earth. They go bobsled, jump out of tile, put on their ninja suits, and they're out doing whatever they're doing. They're like Batman, the signal in the sky. I need to see you tonight, or whatever they do. Sometimes they're not cheating, but sometimes they could be doing something illegal and wrong. It could be a serial killer. It could be a rapist. Could be just, I don't know, sex trafficking. You don't know what people are doing. You think he's with a woman, he's with a man. You think she's out there with a man, she's with a woman. You think she's meeting a man, she's meeting a teenage boy. You just don't know what people do. And sin will just, it keeps giving and takes you further and further out the edge, off of the edge. This person, after a while, this person that you think you know, they start growing whiskers. They get a tail and little rat feet. That's what sin does. It'll change your nature. So back to the point of this video. Let's stop fooling ourselves. Let's stop feeling ourselves, as they say in the Matrix, you're going to take the red pill or the blue pill. I think, which one is it? It's been a long time since I've seen it. Which one is it? The one where you want to believe what you want to believe. I wanted to say, is it the blue pill? Too much time we want to fool ourselves, and we want to put that powdered sugar on the poop. This is the reality. And the Lord has made it very easy for us, but sometimes it seems too easy. And so we want to create our own narrative, and we want to believe the lies, the beautiful lies, because the lies we're hoping that maybe they'll become that. But their character is consistent, and that's what you pay attention to. And you know what's something I've learned, guys? Some of you already know this. That snap right there, that snap has happened in time, and it will never happen again. I will never be able to go back in that millisecond that will soon become minutes and hours. I can never go back and do this exact snap. You see that second one that I did? It is completely separate from the one that I did at first. And the second snap is now etched in time. It's been done. I can never go back and do that exact same snap at that exact same moment. It's gone forever. How much more your life? You think of the years that you spend with this person, you think of how much you've cried, you think of how much you've pleaded, you think of how many promises you believed, even though you knew and expected to be disappointed, but you want to believe. How many years, how many more months, how many decades of your life has this person been a bull in a china shop? Oh, how much happiness have you defaulted and missed out on because you want to stick with this person who he just keeps doing things. It's like a bag with holes in it. You're putting things that's precious in it. Oh, they make you have fun times with them. When it's good, it's good, and when it's bad, and they're wonderful things about their personality. But again, as I said, it's like you see a house, it's a frame of a house, and inside that house are very costly things and very beautiful furniture, but there are no doors, there are no windows, there's no roof, there are no locks, there's nowhere to be secure. And this is what the Bible talks about: a city without walls, a man who has no rule over his own soul, his impulses, his behaviors, his anger, his rages, his words, can't keep his words, promises, whether it's a male or female. It's like a city without walls. There's nothing to protect you. So it is to be in a relationship with this person, whether it's a parent, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a good friend, someone that you love dearly, someone that you're married to, someone that you want to marry, someone you've been engaged since MC Hammer came out. You've been engaged to this person forever, okay? All this stuff is happening, and you want this because you're looking at all the beautiful memories, but and how much you love them. You may even have a baby and children, but you're in this house without walls and without doors and without windows, nothing to shield you from the elements. So whatever comes can come. Somebody could come in and take what you have. Someone could come in and eat what you have off your table. It is subject to the elements because that is the nature of this individual. So you may have the great memories and you may have the wonderful times, but think of where it's invested. Think of the nature of this person. This person and what they have to offer you is just like that house without a frame and a roof and a door. You understand that? They know how to act right, and they know how to act right. They know how to do the right thing. They know about respect. They know about loyalty. They know about faithfulness. They know that stuff, but they don't want to give it to you. And there's some people, they never had it in them to begin with, but they knew how to conjure up enough to act to get you. And now they don't think they need to act anymore because you've lost your value to them. You can't change anybody. You can't change what they're going to do, but you only have power over yourself. All right, guys.